Hello everyone, Dr. Ash is here, and today's discussion will be around peptides, and especially for those subscribers who live in US and for those who want to get peptides in US. This video can help you to know some of the small pharmacies that making the peptides and quite good quality based on the regulation that they have to follow. So the line of product is under good control. And so today's discussion is about peptides and how can you get it, where can you get it. Spoiler alert, I have not bought from any of this company any type of peptide, and I haven't tested them because I have communicated with one of them recently, but I still haven't received any feedback from them that if they can post those products to the place I'm living. However, inside the US they have a good chain of supply, so if you are in US you can easily get it. So as I said, these two of these pharmacists has been in Joe Rogan podcast, podcast number 2079 and podcast 2208.
All day. Hello, what's up, man? We're back.
We're back. What's cracking?
Same stuff, new day.
Yeah, sort of. The war on peptides is going on right now.
It is.
This is interesting.
To explain it is going to take a little bit of time, but I'd love to dig into it
Let's explain it, because there is no reason why they would be banning these things other than for their own profit.
You got it. You get the gist of it.
And however, they promoted their product, they talk about their line of production and all of those things. However, as I always said, any product to prove to be effective, it needs a scientific review, it needs to go through the trial, and it needs to establish a data. So based on those data, you can say this product can do this effect and has this effect and can have this side effect as well. But most of this product lacking the database that can support their efficacy. So all of that has been said. Again, there are so many individuals that getting tremendous results from using some of this. So it's need your own judgment regarding it's good or it's bad. So if you're interested, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get into this video. So two main pharmacies that appeared at Joe Rogan. One is Riviverx and another one is way2well. I've been following them for 2-3 months. I checked their website. I was reading about the people who have left review about their products. And overall, there are some insight that I want to share with you. First of all, FDA follow these pharmacists very well. They check their product line standards and everything. And basically, their final product should be okay after all of those checks, because FDA has no jokes, especially with the small pharmacists. So they've been monitored very well. However, there are some bad reviews regarding the low efficacy of some of these products, which I will discuss later in this video. The third company that I've been following called, if I'm not mistaken, Pure Lab Peptides. So Pure Lab Peptides, one thing I like about Pure Lab Peptides compared to Riviverx and way2well, basically their website is more simple. You can find their product more easily. Basically Riviverx, you cannot see their product. You have to register first, and then only after some communication and some kind of struggle you can find their products. So that's the thing I give to the basically Pure Lab Peptide. The website is much more user friendly. However, the way2well also has quite a professional website, and it's kind of cuter, but however I prefer more user-friendly than a cute website. So if you want to find your product easier, I believe if for the user they can find their product easier from the Pure Lab compared to the others, compared to the other two. Let's get into the reviews that I've been reading, and let's get into the pros and cons of buying product from these small pharmacists. There are, I'm not gonna say which one of them, but there were repeatedly some bad comment that the product that they bought, it lost its efficacy after few days that they store it at the house. Before getting to anything, let's see what are the main products that people look for when they come to get peptides from these pharmacies. I think the king of all the peptides that everybody looking for is BPC 157. First time it has been isolated from the gastric juice, and it promotes regeneration of the cells, healing of the muscle. In some cases it helps the cartilage as well as the some minor nerve damage. These are all the basically healing factor that this BPC 157 promote, and all three of these company have this. The other one that also many people are after it is TB500. TB500 mostly should be used with BPC 157, and TB500 kind of have a complementary work with the BPC. It accelerates the tissue repair, reduce the inflammation, and improve the flexibility of certain tissue when they have scar tissue. So when they inject this to the scar tissue, for example muscle or near the tendons, it kind of increase the flexibility, therefore the secondary damage or tears won't happen. These are all the good things about the TB500 and BPC 157 that athletes especially after it. Then there are some peptides that has an effect on your HGH production. So technically it stimulates the pituitary gland to produce more HGH, such as Tesamorelin. Or there are some other peptides such as Tesamorelin that increase the muscle mass, especially because it accelerates the production of the IGF-1. So it has some kind of positive effect on your liver cell, because IGF-1 is a combination of the insulin and the HGH or human growth hormone that happen within the liver. Therefore, it helps the liver to produce more IGF-1 using the insulin and growth hormone. This Tesamorelin is a good complementary stack for those bodybuilders who are at the recovery phases, basically after their after the cycle. When they're doing the PCT, they can stack the Tesamorelin to keep the muscles that they gain during their cycle. So these are very, very popular peptide. However, there are other peptides for losing weight, such as semaglutide and tirzepatide. Tirzepatide and semaglutide both are used for the weight loss. It has effect on the insulin production, it enhances the energy level, and it increases the metabolism. Therefore, both of them are used for the weight loss. So now that you know some of the peptides that these companies produce and their overall simple this explanation of how do they work, if you want to know more, you can leave the comment in the description. I will try to make video regarding that. So now that you know all of these, let's discuss about those reviews that came, those reviews and those discussions that I had with some of the users. So one of the things that I saw, it was very common for all of these three companies, was that some users complain about the product lost its efficacy after a while. So since we are not there, there's no camera to know what happened, there are two possibilities. One, the users, those basically the people who purchased them, they didn't store it well. They didn't keep it in the right temperature inside the refrigerator, or they didn't mix it with the right sterilized water, because there are so many different sterilized water and not all will be suited for the peptide or HGH to keep them for a long time. So that's very important point. what you mix is also has an effect on the longevity of your peptide. The second problem, the second possible problem, could come from the pharmacists themselves, and that's their supply chain. What does that mean? All of these small pharmacists, whether they admit it or not, they have a problem with the chain of supply. And the reason for that, because their products are limited, their customers are limited. And some of these peptides, when you want to send it to the different towns, to the different state, they need refrigeration and they need special packaging. And therefore, for 1 or 2 or 3 people who demand or want this product by next month, it will be very difficult for this company to provide that in an efficient way. And this is a very common sense. If you're a big pharma that produce a lot, there are so many pharmacies around the country that providing your product and basically distribute your product, you won't face this problem. However, these small pharmacies can face this problem. I'm not sure is it there, but this could be one of the main problems that they are facing. Then there are another problem that some of the users was complaining, delay in receiving their product. This one also again go back to the chain of product and the chain of distribution. So they cannot produce too much because they cannot predict the level of the demand, and these peptides have a half-life and shelf life, so they cannot keep producing. Where can they store it? What about the storage base? And when can they send it? These are all the factors that can affect the final efficacy of these products. This is what we are dealing with because the big pharma do not want to touch these peptides. And one of the reasons they don't want to touch these peptides is the possible strong regenerative effect that some of these peptides can have, and that has a great effect on so many other products that these big pharma producing. For example, if the peptide can reduce your inflammation so you're not gonna feel pain from the arthritis, and this peptide maybe cost you $200-300 per 2-3 months, or supply for 2 months or 3 months, and you're gonna stop taking so many medicine that already supposed to control your symptoms from these pharmas, which cost maybe 3-4 times more. So this is one of the problems. And finally, another problem that all of these pharmacists face is basically like one of the problem that, for example, Riviverx faced was they sent to one customer a wrong product. They sent testosterone instead of something else that this customer wants, and FDA take it so serious that they have to recall all the products from all the customers. So these are all the basically lost and economic loss that these companies faces, and therefore it's kind of they are basically walking at the edge of the blade. So these are all the pros and cons when you want to come and buy your product from some of these pharmacies. If this video was interesting for you and you need more information, as usual, I leave my Telegram channel as well as my email in the description. So if you want to ask any question, you can join those channel and ask me, especially from the email, but make sure the question you want to ask in email worth spending money. So that was for today. I hope this video was interesting for you. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Till next time.